All right, my friends. Hello. COVID Katie checking in here. So this is just going to be a kind of active restore class. So it will be restorative, but if you've done a restore class where we only do about maybe 6 or 7 poses throughout the whole class, it won't be quite that slow and restorative. But we'll get into some deeper stretches and hold them for a little bit longer, so it might have a little bit of a yin vibe to it as well. You won't need, I'm just going to keep it really simple. Don't forget your name to that. Tanya, TR Sap named me COVID Katie. It's all thanks to her. I'm really, it's my alter ego for the next few days, for the next week. Anyway, okay, so you won't need any props. I'm just going to keep it super simple in that way, but if you do have like a bolster and blocks at home that you like to use and you know how to use them, then you're more than welcome to incorporate them. I just won't cue with them. So we'll go ahead and get started just in child's pose. So you find, oh, and one last thing, sorry, if you want to use my playlist on my Facebook live post, there's a link to it. If you're on Instagram, then you can go to my Spotify. My name on there is Katie Calvert Schiffkin, SCH. You know, you're on my Instagram. And it's just the first playlist at the top, and it's called Restore. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Find child's pose on your mat. I personally like my knees out wide, big toes touch behind me. Then I'm going to walk my hands all the way forward until my forehead rests down. So make this pose comfortable for yourself. If it feels better to keep your hips higher in the air and walk your hands further forward, that's fine too. So take a moment here and just allow the ground to hold and support you completely. Take a moment and just kind of breathe out everything from your day. So any stress, any worry, any anxiety. So just on your own, take a few big deep breaths. Inhale to fill up as big as you can, and then exhale out your mouth. And then after you've taken just a few great big huge breaths, start to bring in your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. And take a moment to connect to this breath, to kind of find your own internal rhythm. And then keep your breath there, keep it big and spacious and slow and steady, and start to bring in a little bit of movement. So maybe you just crawl your hands over to one side of your mat and then the other. Maybe you come up into a tabletop or even forward towards cobra or up dog, and then press back to child's pose. Perhaps you just come up to your hands and your knees and start to move through some cat-cows or some hip circles. So you can keep the movement as small as you'd like, or make it as big as you'd like. Just kind of feeling into your body, noticing what's going on with your spine, with your shoulders, with your hips, with your neck. And then all the while, your breath is there. It's flowing slowly, nice and easy. Maybe even close your eyes. And then everybody in your next couple breaths or so, find your way onto your belly. So you can just kind of slither forward, set your hips gently down. You're going to lower down to your belly. Bring your hands to frame your yoga mat. Lift up to your fingertips, elbows face the sky, and you want your hands just slightly forward of your shoulders. Next time you inhale, Spider-Man Cobra. So lift your chest. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down and twist over to the right side. Gaze to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, twist to the left, dip your right shoulder down. Do that a couple more times. So inhale, lift. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, lift. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to the center, lift your heart. And exhale, release it down. Shoulder pigeon. So reach your left arm out to the left with your palm face down. Turn your head to the right. And then roll over onto your left side body. You can take whatever variation here with your arm, right arm, and your right leg that you would like. So maybe your right arm reaches up and back, like you're trying to get the backs of your hands to touch. Maybe your right arm wraps behind your back. If you want to make it a little more active, you could go for a quad stretch or hand to big toe pose. So whatever feels good to you, and then we'll be here for about 7 to 10 rounds. If you're taking care of your low back, then your best option would be fetal position with your legs. If you want to really work the opening of your left shoulder, just make sure you do this with lots of awareness. You can bring both of your feet to the ground, both knees face towards the sky, and your heart starts to rotate up towards the sky. Make sure your left hand is straight out from your left shoulder, or even a little bit higher. Try not to lock out your left elbow, so keep actively pressing down through your left fingertips. And then slow, deep breaths. If you can't breathe big and deep, then you've probably taken it too far, so come out of it a little bit. Keep your neck relaxed and let your head rest against the ground. Just allow yourself to settle, surrender even more with each breath. You've got about 3 more rounds. You can exhale out your mouth if you'd like. And then eventually roll back onto your belly. And we'll take the other side. So take a moment just to come through center. Maybe reach your arms just down by your sides with your palms face up. And feel the difference between your right side and your left side. Feel your body against the ground. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. And then eventually take it to the other side. So right arm reaches out to the right, palm face down, and then roll up onto your right side body. And you can do whatever you want to with your left arm and your left leg, so whatever variation will best serve you. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be exactly what you did on the other side. And then just take your big, deep breaths. Let your face be soft, let your neck relax, let your head just rest against the ground. Try not to lock out your right elbow and keep your right hand straight out from your shoulder. Visualize your breath moving into the front of your right shoulder. Take about 5 more deep breaths. You can exhale out your mouth at any time. Just notice any sensation that you feel energetically, physically, emotionally. Just notice what's there and allow it be the space for it. All right, and then when you feel pretty much even on both sides, roll back onto your belly. Bring your hands to frame your mid-ribs. Press up to a tabletop position. From your tabletop, your hands and your knees, take your hands out wide and lift to your fingertips. So as you press down into your fingertips, kind of engage your core. So draw your belly button in and up. Take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, twist to the right, dip your left shoulder down. So it's just like we do in Spider-Man Cobra. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side, twist to the left, dip your right shoulder down. Inhale, back to center. Once more each side. Exhale, left shoulder dips down. Gaze over to the right. Think of gazing all the way up to the sky. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. And again, think of twisting to the left and then turning your heart to face the sky. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring your hands onto your yoga mat. Press back into a downward facing dog. So take a moment, just walk out your dog, pedal out your heel, shift your weight from side to side. So think of finding lots and lots of length from the tips of your fingers all the way up to your sit bones. Maybe shake your head yes or no. So just using this pose to stretch out, perhaps after a long day at your desk, long day doing whatever it is that you do. All right, from your down dog, inhale, take your right leg to the sky, and exhale, pigeon pose. So right shin to the top of your mat, set your body down gently. So you want your right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat rather than midline, and then pull your right hip back, your left hip forward. So find that little bit of stability and structure to support the stretch. And then as you're ready, ease your way down into your humble pigeon. If you have props that you want to use under your head or your torso or underneath your right hip, please feel free. We'll be here again about 7 to 10 deep breaths. So use each breath to soften, to relax, and to just give in, to surrender. So your breath is your tool to go deeper into your own body. Notice where you're tensing up or resisting. So for me, a lot of times I find that I'm clenching my jaw when I'm doing hip stuff. So notice, are you clenching your jaw? Are you tightening up through your eyebrows or your eyelids even? Allow your body to just soften, to surrender, to let go. Take about 5 more breaths. Exhales can come out your mouth if you'd like. So think of those open mouth sighs. It's just a letting go. Letting go of anything you no longer need or want that is no longer serving you. You can even visualize it. right, take your last couple of breaths here. And then slowly begin to lift your upper body. We're going to find our way into a seat. So carefully sit over onto your right butt cheek and swing your left leg around. Take both legs out in front of you for a moment and just give them a nice little shake out. And then left leg stays extended. Bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Take your left inner thigh, spiral it down and out. Left toes face straight up towards the sky. Bring your fingertips back behind you and try to turn your chest to face straight towards your extended leg. If this feels really, really difficult, this might be where you stay. Otherwise, inhale, arms reach. Lead with your heart. Exhale to dive all the way forward and then down. Hands can grab wherever they can reach. You can use your arms as gentle leverage or just use your breath each time you exhale. Draw your belly button back towards your spine. Reach your butt back a little further and see if you can fold just a little bit deeper from the inside. We'll be here for about 5 to 7 rounds. So you can choose to keep it more active, actively work the pose with your breath, or a little more passive, just passively settle in with each breath, soften with each breath. Kind of depends what you want, what you need tonight. Give it about 3 more rounds. And then very, very end of your next exhale, just ever so slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll it all the way back up. Neck and head come up very last. Keep your left leg extended. Lift your right knee up and hug it in towards your chest. And then bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Hug your knee in again, sit up really tall. Take your right arm to the sky, breathe in, and exhale, twist. Right hand comes down behind you. You might wrap your left arm around your right knee. You might bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, your choice. And then try to sit up as tall as you can. So rather than leaning back onto your right hand, press up and out of your right hand or your right fingertips. And then use your breath to twist with your exhales. So each inhale, lengthen, each exhale, twist. You've got about 3 more deep breaths here. Take your next exhale all the way to empty, twist, twist, twist. And then keep your legs as they are, but unwind your upper body. Hands over to your left side. And just take a little bow so you can round your spine, crown of your head towards the ground. And then breathe into your low back all the way down. Lift your upper body back upright. Take both legs out in front of you. Again, give them a nice little shake out. And then we're just gonna meet in a tabletop position. So however you wanna get there, I'm just gonna cross my ankles and then bring my hands to the ground in front of me. And then take my knees back. So you can take a moment in your tabletop, maybe a couple cat-cows, couple hip circles, Maybe you want to sit back into a child's pose, or maybe you even want to stretch back into a down dog just for a moment. So a couple more breaths, just your own exploration, whatever's calling to you. And then back to tabletop. So hands and knees, bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. On an inhale, take your right arm out to the right, reach it all the way up, and then exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. So reach through as far as you can, and then come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, the outside of your head. There's lots of different ways you can take this posture, lots of different places you can go. So do what feels best to you. I personally, right now in this moment, am reaching my left arm way forward and kind of pressing my left shoulder or my left armpit down, and that's working my right shoulder capsule. So you can think of opening your heart towards the sky. You can press your chest and your left shoulder down to get a different stretch. So explore it in your own way. Big, deep breaths. See if you can feel your breath expand into your upper back, mid back, and low back every single time you breathe in. And then each exhale, take it all the way to emptiness. Give yourself about 3 more rounds here. If your left hand or your left knee happen to be lifted, bring them both back to the ground. And then next time you inhale, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up. Pause here and just take a few big circles with your right arm, just like you're swimming freestyle. Fullest range of motion, and then eventually right hand to the earth, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Spread your toes, lots and lots of length, really reach. And then in your own time, pigeon pose. So left shin to the top of your mat, left knee towards the outer left edge of your mat. Pull left hip back, right hip forward, tone through your lowest, deepest abdominals. And then eventually humble pigeon. So no rush getting there. We'll stay for about 10 breaths, so you don't have to go 110% right at first. I'd say go about 70%, and then with each breath, just allow your outer body, your outer shell, to soften around the pose. If you're a visual person, maybe visualize your breath as a bright white light flowing through the crown of your head, traveling all the way down into your outer left hip, swirling around, just creating space, creating softness there. And then as you exhale, it washes back over you and travels out the crown of your head. So just an option if it works. Soften your face, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Soften through your hands, through your fingers. If you find that your mind wanders, that's okay. That's perfectly normal. But just notice that. And when you notice it, come back to your breath, come back to the sensation you feel in your body, come back to sounds, even smells. So just coming back to this moment right here, right now. And that's really all meditation is. This is like a meditation with our bodies. Last few breaths here. If you want to, exhale out your mouth. And then slowly begin to ease your upper body back upright. Sit over onto your left butt cheek and swing your right leg around. For just a moment, take both of your legs out in front of you, shake them out. And then sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Right leg extended, right toes point straight up towards the ceiling. I'm going to take my right inner thigh, spiral it down and out. Start with your fingertips back behind you and try to square your shoulders, square your chest towards your extended leg. If this is really difficult, this might be your pose. This can be where you stay. Otherwise, inhale, arms reach. Lead with your heart. Exhale, dive forward, 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 and then down. So think belly, ribs, chest, then forehead towards your shin. You can use your hands however you want. You can use your arms as gentle leverage or just relax into it. Make it a little more restorative, more passive. And just take some deep breaths. Give it about 3 more rounds. Take your next exhalation all the way to empty. Draw your belly button back, reach your butt back. See if you can dive just a little bit deeper. And then as slow as possible, 1 vertebra at a time, roll it back up. That is the very last thing to lift. Once your head stacks, lift your left knee up. Right leg stays extended. Hug your left knee in, sit up super tall. And then bring your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Hug your knee in, sit up tall, right toes still face straight up. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And then as you exhale, twist, bring your left hand down behind you. You can either wrap your right arm around your left leg, squeeze, or left elbow to the outside of your left knee or thigh. Use that as gentle leverage, gaze back over your left shoulder. Try not to lean back onto your left hand, but think of pressing up and out of your left hand. Stay up on your fingertips. Breathe. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Couple more rounds. your next exhale. So take it all the way to empty, then unwind your upper body. Hands over to your right side. I'm going to scoot over to the wall so close. So hands over to your right side, and then just take your little bow. So it's fine if your left butt cheek lifts up. Breathe down into your low back. I might even lower down onto my forearms. So just let this be a bow forward, a letting go, a giving in. Should feel really nice, a nice counter twist. Lift back up. Uncross your legs. Take them both out in front of you. Give them a nice little shake out. And we'll meet again on our hands and our knees. So if you want to come with me, lean back, cross your ankles, rock forward, and then kind of step your knees back. And again, take a moment to just move in your own way, whatever calls to you. Downward facing dog is an option if you want it. Child's pose is an option. Just a little bit of organic movement if that would feel good. And then regular tabletop. Bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. And we'll take thread the needle. So this time left arm out to the left, all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath you, reach through, and then come down to rest outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. You've got about 7 breaths here. So anywhere you want to take it, anywhere you want to go, it doesn't necessarily even have to be what you did on the other side. And think big Buddha belly breaths. Exhaling all the way to empty every single time. Take about 3 more rounds. If you happen to have your right hand or right knee lifted, bring them both back to the ground. Next time you inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it all the way up. Pause here, take a couple big circles. So again, just like you're swimming freestyle, fullest range of motion. And eventually, left hand comes down, downward facing dog. So in your down dog, bring your feet out to the width of your mat. Keep all 10 toes facing forward. Bring your weight into your right hand and then press back through your left heel and shift your hips over to the left. Try to get your left leg nice and straight, your spine nice and long. So you should really feel that stretch down the back of your left leg. Breathe into it. A couple more deep breaths. And then switch sides. So press into your left hand, press back through your right heel, and shift your hips over to the right a little bit. Big deep breaths. And then end of your next exhale, keep your feet wide, but bring your weight back to center. And just crawl your hands to the very back of your mat. Ragdoll pose. So keep your feet wider than your hips, all 10 toes face forward. Grab opposite elbows and let your torso just hang nice and easy. So if you want to bring your feet in a little bit closer, you can. Just keep them at least hips width distance. And then try to keep your weight slightly forward rather than rocking back into your heels.
Imagine you're trying to lift your sit bones, lift your butt up towards the sky. Forearms, crown of your head towards the ground. And add that little bob or sway if you want. You've got about 7 to 10 breaths here, so it's going to feel like a really long time to be in your forward fold. Just allow your body to relax into it. So if you were laying down doing this forward fold, how would you relax into it? Do the same thing here. So as if you're laying down, you're just letting your body soften with each breath. If you want to release your elbows or bring your hands behind your head instead, that's fine. And let your face soften, neck fully relaxed. And breathe into your belly with each exhale. Draw navel to spine and see if you can just allow yourself to melt a little bit more. Got about 5 more breaths, halfway there. Last couple of rounds or so. Exhale out your mouth if you want. Plant your hands on your mat. Start to crawl your hands forward until you're in a plank position. Come to your knees if you want to modify. Inhale at the top, exhale all the way down. Back bend of your choice. So lift your chest, maybe take an extra couple breaths. And then tabletop position, hands and knees. Sit your hips off to one side, swing your legs around in front of you. So hands back behind you, lean back, knees bent, feet on the ground, bring your feet mat width distance apart. Inhale to lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down, and then exhale, let both of your knees fall to one side and kind of turn your shoulders in the opposite direction. Inhale through center, exhale other side. So just go back and forth a couple more times with your breath. Feel the mobility through your hips, through your groin, maybe up into your low back. You can take that rotation all the way up into your mid-spine, your upper back, by moving your shoulders to the opposite side. All right, my friends, finish the round you're on. And then keep your feet wide at the width of your mat. Keep your knees bent, but lower yourself all the way down onto your back. So with your feet wide, just let your knees fall in towards each other. Bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your low belly. So if the outer edges of your feet lift, that's perfectly fine. Close your eyes. I'm just going to walk you through a little breathing practice, only about 3 breaths. So one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly if it's not there already. Exhale all your air out. Inhale just into your low belly, your low back, pause. So 1/3 of the way up. Take that breath now up into your ribs, your mid-back, pause. And then all the way up into your chest, shoulders, upper back, hold. And slowly, like a mother would quiet her child through your teeth, exhale. all the way to empty. Navel draws down towards the ground. Again, inhale, low belly, low back, hips, pelvic floor. Mid-abdomen, mid-back, mid-ribs, side bodies. Now all the way up, chest, shoulders, upper back, crown of your head. Hold in fullness. Through your teeth, slow exhale. Think of pushing the air out. Belly button draws down, down, down towards the ground. Last round, inhale, low belly, low back. Inhale, mid-ribs, mid-back. Inhale all the way up, chest, shoulders, upper back, crown of your head, hold. And exhale through your teeth, push the air out. Good. Come back to your Ujjayi breath, or if you want to come into just a more natural breath, that's fine. Now, switch it up, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall open like a book. Keep your hands either where they're at, or if it would feel good, bring them into a cactus position. So elbows straight out from your shoulders, palms face up. You can either just rest and relax here and ignore my cues, or I'm going to walk you through another breath practice. So this one is called square breathing or equal ratio breathing. We'll breathe in for a count of 5, hold for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 5, and then hold empty for a count of 5. So start by exhaling, emptying all the way out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a big inhale, hold in fullness, sip in a little bit more at the top. Hold, hold, hold. And big sigh out your mouth. Lift your knees up and draw them in towards your belly. Wrap your arms in front of your shins or in the back of your thighs, or you can grab hold of your knees and just gently rock from side to side, or even little circles tracing the outline of your sacrum against the ground. And then from here, just eventually let both of your knees fall over to the right for a supine twist. And if you want to take a different variation of a twist, that's fine with me. Left arm reaches out to the left, gaze up or over your left shoulder. And breathe. About 5 more slow, deep breaths. Exhales just allow you to melt into the ground, to give into the earth even more. And then as you're ready, we'll switch to the other side. So next couple rounds, bring your knees through center and give them a great big squeeze in. So maybe even lift your head up, squeeze, 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 nose in between your knees. And then release and let your knees fall over to the left. Right arm reaches out to the right. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. And again, if there's a different variation that you would rather take, please feel free. Visualize your breath, that bright white light, traveling all the way down the length of your spine, softening the muscles around your spine, creating space, just allowing you to relax even more with each breath. Take your next breath all the way to emptiness. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. Roll back onto your spine, back to center. Take your legs. Well, first take your hands. Make a little diamond shape. So thumbs and index fingers create a little diamond. Bring your hands under your sacrum, palms face down. Take your legs straight up. And you can either just rest here for a moment, keep your legs extended. You can play with leg variations, leg positions, or I'm just going to shake my legs really, really fast. So this is a way that I like to kind of get energy moving, get blood flowing. I think of it as releasing extra energy or anxious energy. So shake, 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 shake. Or you can be still and just breathe. Think of softening the muscles. Softening, softening, releasing, releasing. Shake, shake, shake. 3, 2, and 1. Then take my hands out from underneath my back. Happy baby. So everybody, knees to the outsides of your ribs, soles of your feet face the sky. Maybe a little rock from side to side or any type of exploration that you would like to take. Take your last few big deep breaths. Last few stretches. So if there are any other poses, stretches, or movements that you would like to take for your own self, give yourself a few breaths to do so. And then as you settle into your Shavasana, I have a reading for you. So you can start settling in, and just by the time I'm done reading, just allow yourself to just give yourself fully to your relaxation. So, of course, this is by Jeff Foster, and it's called On Courage. He says, "Courage is your willingness to not know, to speak your truth, to walk your path, to face ridicule and rejection, to keep going despite the voices in your head and the judgments of others. And there are no guarantees you will make it to the place you thought you were headed, but you will make it to a destination even more glorious, yourself. Nobody can walk it for you. You walk in radical aloneness, naked in the face of life, no protection, no crutches, no external authority, no ideology to save you, no promises anymore,
only the beating of the heart and the air in the lungs and the thrill and the terror of being utterly free, no longer numb to yourself, and a knowing from deep within and the call of your ancestors and the ground holding you and the sun warming your tired body and the fragrance of love everywhere and warm tears running down your cheeks and this gorgeous vulnerability that has made you completely indestructible. So I'm going to leave you here. Take as long as you can. So if you have 10 minutes to just lay and relax and rest, then take it. If you can lay here all night long, do it. If you only have 30 seconds, then take 30 seconds. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you, and it's felt so good to teach the last couple days, so thank you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.